Good morning. I'm recording this on Friday. I will not be there on Sunday. I am struggling with a health issue and hopefully to have it resolved pretty quick. I'm going have another doctor's appointment on Monday. Thank you for all those who have prayed, and I appreciate that very much. Our scripture this morning is from Matthew, chapter 10, verses 40 through 42. Anyone who welcomes you welcomes me. And anyone who welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. Whoever welcomes a prophet as a prophet will receive a prophet's reward, and whoever welcomes a righteous person as a righteous person will receive a righteous person's reward. If anyone gives a cup of cold water to one of these little ones who is my disciple, truly I tell you, that person will certainly not lose their reward. May God bless the reading of this Holy Scripture. What would happen if we really stopped expecting people to come on their own initiative through our church doors on Sunday morning and instead took seriously our calling to bring Jesus and the gospel to them? What would happen if we truly believed that we are the presence of Christ to every person we encounter, in every home, every workplace, or neighborhood we enter? What would happen if we saw every conversation as an opportunity to speak words of grace and love? Every interaction as an opportunity to embody Christ's love for our neighbors? What if we really practiced Christianity the way Christ intended it to be practiced? The entire book of Matthew, which I read from this morning, is about building the church. And Matthew assumes the church is a missionary church, and I like to call the missionary church a go and seek church. Joanne Tyne, director of Journey to Restorations, wrote this in April of this year. Before his final goodbye, Jesus had given his followers some very clear instructions. He said, "Go into all the earth, preach the gospel, baptize, but wait until you receive the power to do this." What they did next, she says, is so amazing to me, something so rare. They didn't rush. They didn't go to outside sources. They didn't try to figure it out on their own. They didn't start their own neighborhood groups or religion or try to solve their very own puzzle. They came together and they waited. They simply pressed into God, got as close as they could to experience God and feel God and to listen. And they got together. They had already seen that God was faithful beyond their wildest expectations, so they trusted him to show them what to do next. And that's exactly when the miracle happened. The God who had left them showed up in them. And suddenly his command to go into all the world meant something more than telling people about this Jesus. It meant bringing him to them, to their world. It's as if he was saying, "Take me out to everybody. Take me to your neighbor, to your grocery store. Take me to work. Take me to where you are comfortable. Take me to where you're not comfortable. Take me everywhere you go because I am in you." Let the weight of that sink in for just a moment. Makes me a little uncomfortable. We are who the world will understand Christ to be. We are Christ to the world. We are the temple that he has chosen to inhabit. We are his choice to dwell in and show his glory through. We are not perfect vessels, chosen to carry a perfect God into this world. So when others see us, the question is, will they see his love, his forgiveness, his kindness, his patience, his mercy? Will they see his truth? Will they recognize him? It's a lot to absorb, isn't it? So how do we apply all of this to Chapin Christian Church right here and now in the year 2020? And what we're experiencing as a congregation. I was talking to someone the other day who had expressed very high hopes for the year 2020. The best is yet to come. And people I know had made big plans for this year. Graduations, weddings, dream vacations, big moves, retirements. And when 2020 began, health clubs and gyms were full. The product aisles in the grocery stores were packed. Church seats were occupied for the most part. And the economy was on a roll. Even those I know that struggle daily and month to month were somewhat optimistic. From where we live in Illinois, February, that is an awful time of year normally. And this year, 2020, it was fairly decent. Even the spring seemed to come a month early. But everything was changing in February. And we didn't know it, not just the weather. We started to hear about this virus from China, not thinking it would have an effect on any of us in the central and south central part of Illinois. But by the second and third week of spring break, the virus hit the country full force. I remember it well because I brought Barry, my brother, home from the hospital after a 3-day visit and a little surgery and some infection. When we got back to the nursing home, I was informed that I couldn't go back inside after I had checked him back in due to the virus. And then came separation, social distancing, and distancing of peoples. Not just 6-foot CDC mandated distancing, but divisions. Companies whose employees work together closely, families, churches, and then stay-at-home orders came from different government bodies, the federal government, the state, the city. We were supposed to wear masks. Then we weren't supposed to wear masks. Gloves, no gloves. And somewhere along the line, everything got political. People began to turn on each other, and no one knew quite what to do. People divided physically, and their hearts, anger grew, and hatred grew. And we started to separate into not just divisions, but party lines. The church had stopped gathering, and we took that opportunity to communicate behind the safety net of our technology screen. And that was great that we had it, but it did lead to a little more division. And after months of isolation and just When things were beginning to start to open up again, the world was shaken with the death of two black men who lost their lives to what seems to be hatred in the name of racism. Protests broke out, and people from all races joined in. And I thought that maybe these murders would bring the country together. But I was wrong. Halfway through 2020, my heart aches. To end racism and hate, to end the pandemic, I want my 2020 back. And I find myself asking several times a day, because I'm not sure what to do. What would Jesus do in this situation? Jesus, my friend, my strength, the one I turn to when I'm confused, when I'm not sure what to do, the one who fights for the oppressed and shows love to the marginalized. I want to know what Jesus would do in this difficult year 2020. And I prayed. I read my Bible. I listened to lots of different sermons. Well, here's what I came up with. Jesus has called me to be a source of hope for others and a source of love at a time when others are having trouble with both. I really don't have to do anything different as a believer. I hear Jesus telling me this. As his follower, I can hold on to the overwhelming, unlimited love of God that he has for us and let that love overflow to others who desperately need it. All that I do and say should be the same as God's love for hurting people. It will never change. But this powerful love that has come to me in such a time as this makes me wonder, what if we are at a turning point? I'm not saying the end of the world, but a turning point. What if we are being given an opportunity to really grow the faith and to grow our church? What if 2020 makes us aware of many of the things that we have to let go of or just didn't care about and wakes us up to things that we didn't see otherwise, injustices, problems that are right in front of us, but now in such a way that we can deal with them. 2020 has been a year we can't wait to have over. But what if instead we embrace this year as a year of important change and growth? What if we make 2020 the year that we make things happen in our church community? Being forced to change our lives, especially our church lives, has been very difficult. But it may give us the opportunity to make a difference. First, our congregation needs to get reacquainted and to catch up. We need to work really hard reaching out to others in the community and beyond. We've been through a time that is unlike anything any of us have experienced before. It's been hard on all of us, and I don't think it's over yet. But God is with us and has prepared us for a lot of things. I believe that there are a lot who are suffering, who are sad, and who need the kind of love that only God can give. And that love is in each one of us to give as individuals and as a church. May we go seek out others that are hurting, that are lost, that need God in their lives. Let's make this the year to take this church out into the community and as far as we can take it and go out to others and bring them to Jesus and take Jesus to them. May this time, may the rest of 2020 give us a chance to take God into this world and share his overwhelming love. Amen.